afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Channel 8, the local sports network. We are dedicated to broadcasting around the world through YouTube the local sports around Australia. It's the summer, the weather's warm, it's time to watch some cricket. This is Channel 8, the local sports network, showing you all the latest in the local cricket around the Diamond Valley area. This is, of course, Channel 8 in association with our partners, Bizz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. I am your commentator and host, Chukka Wilson. Thank you very much for joining us. We are about to witness round 4 of the F2 division in the 2017-18 season. Here is Diamond Creek 2 versus Riverside at the Marngrook Oval in Diamond Creek. So, let's start off by talking about the situation in the F2 division. So, we've had 3 rounds and there has not been an even split in terms of how the teams have gone so far. So, looking at the ladder, Lower Plenty are the only team that are 3-0. Then there is a group of 4 teams who are on 2-1, which are Laylaw Stars, Riverside, Diamond Creek 1 and Lower Eltham. Then there is the North Eltham Wanderers, which is the only team with a 1-2 count. And then at the bottom of the ladder there are the 2 teams which are on 0-3, which are Diamond Creek 2 and Mill Park. So this game is Diamond Creek 2, who are 0-3 and are near the bottom of the ladder, versus Riverside, who are 2-1, who are in the second highest group. They've lost 1 of their games, so they aren't near the top of the ladder, but they've won 2 out of 3, so they are currently they are in the area of finals contention. Obviously, we are way too early in the season to worry about either percentage or finals. Much more important is the WL count, and the WL count says Riverside have won 2 games, lost 1, and Diamond Creek 2 have lost 3 and have not got a victory yet. So on that account, you would have to say that Riverside are coming in definitely as favourites. They have much better form than do Diamond Creek 2, and so we would expect them to put up a superior show today. But we'll just have to wait and see. So next, let's just talk about the weather here, because we've had quite an unusual week. So through Sunday and then Monday and then Tuesday, the weather got hotter and hotter and more humid. So on Sunday it was 23 degrees. Then on Monday it was 33 degrees, and then on Tuesday it was 34 degrees. And on all those occasions there was no rain. The humidity was very high. The overnight temperature was in the mid-teens. Then on Wednesday the overnight temperature jumped up to 21. And the temperature was during the day was at 31. And so 3 days in the 30s in a row, and no rain, high humidity. And so obviously we know what would happen then. And it did happen. Massive amounts of rain. The sort of rain that is strong enough that you can still go outside, but you really have to carry an umbrella around with you. You have to wear a raincoat or something. And so it was downpouring. The clouds were dark and aggressive. There was hail reported in some areas. Rain was overnight, during the day, during the morning, during the evening. It was just constant. And so the temperature dropped, of course. So on Thursday, the temperature dropped to just 21 degrees. And then on Friday, it was at 26. And the rainfall was gauged at 4 millimeters for both Thursday and Friday. Some organizations had the statistics a little bit different, but more or less it was 4 millimeters both days. So it's a usual thing that we see in summer, where there's lots of humidity and then there's a huge downfall of rain, and then the weather sort of retains its equilibrium and we get normal weather going forward. And it seems to be the case today. So the Weather Bureau is saying that today it will be 27 degrees. There is a 40% chance that there will be rain during the day, but it will be between 0 and 1 millimeters. The rain is expected to happen in the late afternoon, early evening period, where there will be there's a certain chance that there will be a thunderstorm in certain areas around the local area, especially coming into the late evening period. There's going to be a light northeasterly breeze, 15 to 20 k's, coming across throughout much of the afternoon. And the Weather Bureau also said that it will be partly cloudy. Now, as far as today, right now is concerned, so as we can see right now, it is very, very gorgeous weather. The sun is unintruded. It's very bright out. It's sunglasses sort of weather. The sky is mostly blue. There are patches of clouds here and there. There is a gentle breeze which keeps most of the heat off you, and it feels very relaxing. It is just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous summer's day. This is probably the perfect summer's day because it's in the mid-20s. It's warm enough that you really feel warmed up. It's not too warm, not like in the 30s where you start to feel flustered or overwhelmed or dehydrated or something like that. So it's the perfect hot temperature for hot weather. The breeze is perfect. The sun is shining. It's just so amazing, so gorgeous. This is a great day. I was so worried that when the rain fell, both on Thursday and Friday, when the sky was completely dark and grey and it looked like it was just going to be a long torrential period of rain, I really did worry that we were going to see a washed out game today, that the rain was going to be continuing for more than 2 days and we were going to see yet another day of just lots and lots of rain where play would not be possible. But thankfully the weather has retained its equilibrium now and we are back to normal weather conditions. The temperature has gone down, the humidity level has gone down, and we're going to be seeing a normal late spring day. We're in mid-November right now, so spring is coming towards an end. By the time this game is over next week, it will be basically the end of spring and we will be entering into December. So, there's no reason why we aren't going to be seeing a very good day's cricket here. I'm very excited to see just what's happened to the ground, because obviously there's been a lot of rainfall over the last 2 days, but it's been hot and sunny all today, and so whatever water has been absorbed by the ground, it won't be at the immediate surface. It will be a little bit lower than that. So I would expect the ball to maybe fly off the infield, but then again, it might come into play later on, assuming that depending on whether it stays sunny like this or the clouds start to block out the sun, it might have an effect on just how much moisture is in the ground and where it's located. Because obviously if the sun keeps beating down, then the ground is just going to get faster and faster as the soil is dried out. But if the sun decides to disappear for a while, the moisture in the soil might stay in place, and the infield and the outfield might be a bit slower. Okay, so now it's time to take a break. You are watching Channel 8, the local sports network, in association with our partners Bizz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. I am Chukka Wilson. We are about to watch round 4 of the F2 division in the 2017-18 season. This is Diamond Creek 2 versus Riverside at the Marngrook Oval. Don't go away, we've got more of the pre-game show just after this break. You're watching Channel 8.
I was a soldier boy in the twilight of my youth, when I still could feel love and a trust in above for the truth. I fought with bravery, then I left my gun behind. But the misery I've seen never wiped itself clean from my mind. Now I never ever close my eyes completely when I'm sleeping. Faces the same, and I still couldn't name but a few. If God isn't dead, then I'll kill him myself. 'Cause I've seen the worst, I'm not scared to just burst into where
Okay, so now let's have a look at what Diamond Creek 2 have done this season so far. So, in round 1, Diamond Creek 2 versus Lower Eltham at Campbell Street Oval. Diamond Creek 2 won the toss and elected to bat. They batted out, this was a one-day game, they batted out their 34 overs, 9 for 111, with Tassoni scoring 23, Trainer 34, Mackenzie 19, Goering 11 not out. For the Lower Eltham bowlers, Sinclair 3 for 19, Waldron 3 for 12, and then 1 to Collis, and then Battledy Thompson. Lower Eltham responded by chasing the runs down with about 3 overs in hand, 5 for 113 after 31. Williamson scored 40, Waldron 26, and Stanner Farley 21. Among the Diamond Creek bowlers, Trainer took 2 for 19, Pearce 1 for 4, Ramsey 1 for 25, and Goering 1 for 26. So Diamond Creek 2 batting first in a one-day game, not scoring enough runs. 111 is a very small score in a one-day game, and it was chased down by Lower Eltham. So that was the first loss for Diamond Creek 2 this season. The second game, round 2, was the derby between Diamond Creek 1 and 2 here at the Mungrook Oval. Diamond Creek 1 won the toss and elected to bat, and they were bowled out for 120 in the 45th over. Milner 62, Merritt 18, Jarram 10. The Diamond Creek 2 bowlers, Pearce 4 for 24, Goering 3 for 22, Trainer 2 for 8. Diamond Creek 2 then responded by getting bowled out for 55 in the 31st over, with Tassoni 11, Guy 16, Russell 12. Saul took 4 for 21, Farron Price 3 for 17, and then another wicket for Poon. So with a 70-run first innings lead, Diamond Creek 1 batted again and declared 6 for 86 after 30 overs, with Puto 25, Poon 20 not out, and Rutt 18. In the bowlers for Diamond Creek 2, Pearce took 3 for 22, Trainer 2 for 13, Goering 1 for 24. And then Diamond Creek 2 responded in the 4th innings of the game with a target of about 150. They batted out the remaining 31 overs of the day, 5 for 62 to save the game in the second innings. Guy 28, Mackenzie 28. Among the Diamond Creek 1 bowlers, Ireland took 3 for 14, Jarram took 1, and Farron Price took 1. So there you have it, Diamond Creek 2 losing on first innings by getting bowled out for just 55, but saving the game in the second innings. And so then there was round 3, which was broadcast on Channel 8 last round. Diamond Creek 2 versus Lower Plenty at the Mungrook Oval. Diamond Creek 2 won the toss and elected to bat, and were bowled out for 44 in the 22nd over. The only double figure score was Russell with 15. Lower Plenty bowlers, Anderson 4 for 10, McKinnon 3 for 18, Lacey 2 for 2, Lacey 2 for 2, and then Caldera that got the other one. Lower Plenty responded by batting out 55.3 overs and declaring 8 for 147. McCarriff 45, Anderson 33, Lacey 30, and Nice 13. So a 100-run lead in the first innings for Lower Plenty, declaring in order to go for an outright win. Amongst the Diamond Creek 2 bowlers, Pearce 3 for 38, Petrosino 2 for 29, and then 1s to Farah and Merritt. So, with a 100-run deficit, trying to save the game in outright, just like they had to do last round, Diamond Creek 2 were able to bat out the rest of the game. And so Diamond Creek 2, 4 for 127 after 49 overs. Farah was the only double figure score with 85. Among the lower plenty bowlers, McKinnon 241 and then ones to Caldera and Chilcott. So there you have it. 3 games for Diamond Creek 2, 3 losses. The first game was the one-day game where they failed to score enough runs in the first innings and got it chased down. And then in the 2 two-day games that they have played so far, they have both been situations where they've been bowled out in the first innings for a very, very low score, and the other team tried to go for an outright win, but thanks to second innings batting performances, both times Diamond Creek 2 have been able to avoid the outright defeat. Okay, so now let's have a look at what Riverside have done so far this season. And again, they've played 3 games, they've won 2 and they've lost 1. So let's go to round 1 for them. Here we go. Round 1, Mill Park versus Riverside at the Mill Park Secondary College. Mill Park won the toss, elected to bat first. This is the one-day game. 6 for 138, batting 35 overs. Dave 68, Johnson 35 not out, and Napisham 14. For the Riverside bowlers, Sunderman 2 for 23, and then ones to McDonnell and Braggy. Riverside responded by chasing down the runs in the 32nd over, 3 for 141. McCallay 48, Waitman 40 not out, Merrifield 22 not out, and then contributions by Dixon and Bowler. For the Mill Park bowlers, Ramayake took 1 and Vinapatharana took 2 for 26. So a start-off victory for Riverside in the one-day game. Then came the first 2-day game in round 2. Laylaw Stars versus Riverside at WA Smith Reserve. Riverside won the toss and decided to field first. Laylaw Stars getting bowled out. Laylaw Stars batted first and got bowled out in the 67th over for 227. Gretsch 50, Godino 42, Turner 34, Watson 22, Darmody 11, Cheney 11, Manu 10, and Winstone 14. For the Riverside bowlers, Hoban 4 for 44, Miles 2 for 11, Bragg 2 for 24, and then ones to Martin and Hubert. In response to a very competitive 200 score, Riverside did not fare well. They were bowled out in the 47th over for 133, so falling just short of 100 runs from their target. Leverach 41, Dillon 35, Sunderman 17, Merrifield 12. For the Laylaw Stars bowlers, Manu 5 for 27, Turner 3 for 19, and then 1 to Gyoskos. So there you have it. Riverside completely failing to bowl out Laylaw Stars for a competitive total, and then failing to chase down what was a large score, scoring just 133. And so now we've got round 3, which happened last round. Riverside versus the North Eltham Wanderers at Greensborough Park. North Eltham Wanderers won the toss and elected to bat, bowled out for 147 in the 52nd over. Headley 42, Bown 34, Banks 21, and Drinkle 15. For the Riverside bowlers, Martin 7 for 39, Ryan 2 for 0, and Movcele got the other one. Riverside were able, facing a rather smallish target, Riverside were able to chase it down, batting out 56 overs, 5 for 149, and so chasing it down with about 12 overs to spare and 5 wickets in hand. So, Martin 54, Merrifield 29, Miles 20 not out, and then amongst the Northallerton Wanderer bowlers, Drinkle 1 for 22, Stancombe 2 for 21, Warsnop 1 for 3, and then the other one was taken by Bourbon 1 for 8. So there you have it. 2 wins from 3 games for Riverside. It's not that easy to tell exactly where their strengths and weaknesses are. They seem to have a good bowling unit, good batting unit. They've made some runs, they've taken some wickets, but they were completely outplayed in the game versus Laylaw Stars. So we'll just have to see how valuable of that is. So there you have it. So we've already talked a lot about Diamond Creek 2. We've said that Diamond Creek 2 certainly have shown that here and there they do have some very good players, they do have a lot of talent, they can do a lot of great things, but so far the things that have really cost them is the fact that they have been bowled out for such small scores in the first innings for the two-day games. And so you would just have to wonder, you know, how are they going to come back from this? How are they actually going to find a way to provide a competitive score? It seems that they are bowling first. So we're going to have to take that into consideration. How low can they bowl out the Riverside team for? And then that will tell us that it might be a bit different if Diamond Creek have to bat second, because instead of having to try to set the pace and being bowled out for 43 as they were last round, maybe they'll get a better chance if they're having to chase. But then again, in the derby they were chasing. They bowled out, Diamond Creek won for just 120, and they were unable to really give this a fair chase, getting bowled out for just 55. So we'll just have to wait and see whether or not Diamond Creek 2 fielding first today is going to provide us with a very interesting contest. As for Riverside, well, it seems like they have a very good batting side. They were able to chase down a 130 score reasonably comfortably, only 3 wickets down, and so you'd with good scores, of good 40 scores to a couple of people and 20 scores to another couple. Sure, they were bowled out for 133 in round 2, but then in the 3rd round they were able to chase down a 140 score with good contributions to a number of players. So clearly there is a lot of run-making potential inside the Riverside 11. And so judging on how they've been able to perform so far, there's no reason to think that they won't be able to really make a good play of this and score a very large target. As for the Riverside bowlers, well, that brings up some more questions, because apart from Martin's amazing 7 for 39, which bowled out Northallerton Wanderers for a small score, so far this season the Riverside bowlers have left many gaps, because they allowed Mill Park to score a competitive 138 in the one-day game of round 1, and then round 2 Laylaw Stars scored 227, which is a very good total in a one-day game. And so when you take round 3 out of consideration and you just look at the first 2 rounds, you think, you know, where's Riverside's bowling potential? Where are they going to take wickets? How are they actually going to provide a real good fist of making sure that the opponent batsmen have their scoring potential restricted and the wickets fall? And so that's an open question. We'll just have to find out come the opportunity of the change of innings when Diamond Creek 2 actually bat and Riverside actually get a chance to bowl. Okay, so it's time to take a break now. You are watching Channel 8, the local sports network, in association with our partners Bizz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. I am your host, Chukka Wilson. We are here at round 4 of the F2 division between Diamond Creek 2 and Riverside at the Mungrook Oval in Diamond Creek. Let's take a break now. When we come back, we've got more pre-game show.
Her children sleep, the moments creep away. In stale rooms with diesel fume malaise. The sirens and lights, they pierced the night. Stirring up a sleeping appetite. When Katie spoke of crimson smoke and wings, the meadow larks in ghetto parks would sing. The melody would echo through the air. And travel through the window to her chair. In old shoes, the same views, the gravity of life to weigh her down. In gray dreams, the sky seems larger than it was, or is it because she lost her wings? She can't recall her steady fall from grace, but she was down on solid ground to stay. And somewhere in the journey she found peace. And trading all her dreams for guarantees. In old shoes, the same views, the gravity of life to weigh her down. In gray dreams, the sky seems larger than it was, or is it because she lost her wings? it because she lost her wings? The sycamore, is there no more to climb? But still she dreams of quiet streams and flying.
Hello and welcome back. You are watching Channel 8, the local sports network, in association with our partners, Bizz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. We are here at the Mungrook Oval in Diamond Creek to watch round 4 of the F2 division between Diamond Creek 2 and Riverside. So far, after 3 rounds, Diamond Creek 2 have lost all 3 games, failing to make a competitive score in the one-day game and having it chased down on them. Then getting in the derby, getting bowled out for just 55 and being able to save the game in outright in the second innings. And then in the game that we saw last round here at the Mungrook Oval on Channel 8, they were bowled out for 43. Their opponents tried to force an outright victory by getting a 100-run lead and then declaring, but Diamond Creek 2 were able to bat out the rest of the day's play, scoring a good 120 score, which saved the game because there was not enough time to get the remaining wickets to force to allow a run chase. As for Riverside, they were able to make a very good start to the season by, in the one-day game, having to chase down a large score of 130. Then in the second game, they did not go well with the ball, conceding a 200-run score and being unable to chase it down, falling far short of that. And then in the final game, in the previous game of the season, they were able to chase down a very low score by bowling out their opponents for a low score and then being able to chase it down. So there you have it. Riverside 2-1, Diamond Creek 2 0-3. So now let's have a look at the 11s. Now, unfortunately, at the time of our broadcast, the Riverside team have failed to provide an 11 through the documented, through the official channels of My Cricket, which means that we are unable to provide you with the 11 that Riverside have named. So the only 11 we have is Diamond Creek 2. So let's go through Diamond Creek 2. First, we've got Robert Pearce. Robert Pearce has had a very quiet season so far with the bat, scoring just 13 runs at an average of 4. But his bowling has been amazing. He has taken 11 wickets at 8 with a best of bowling of 4 for 24. Then we've got a bit of a change to the 11. So previous round was an awkward round because it involves the Melbourne Cup weekend, and often people are unavailable on that weekend, which means they're unavailable for that round, and so that means there's a lot of chopping and changing. So one of those is the wicketkeeper Daniel Gaunt. Now Daniel Gaunt played the first 2 rounds but didn't play the previous round. That was the role was taken up by Stevens, but now he is back. He's had a very quiet season. He's had 3 bats at the crease, 5 runs and an average of 2. So a very quiet season to start for him. Then we have another change. So we've got another change. We've got Greg Faulkner. Now Greg Faulkner has not played a game this season so far, and so we have to look at his record from the previous season. He played 9 games last season, scoring 157 runs at a batting average of 17, highest score of 43. Now those statistics, a batting average of 17 across an entire season, gives you an indication of just how good of a batsman he is. Then we've got then we've got Sean Russell. Now, Sean has had a reasonably good season with the bat. 31 runs at an average of 10, which is good. Not amazing, but good. Then he's also, so his highest score is 15. And then with the ball, he has not taken a wicket yet, despite, I think, being a very impressive bowler from what I saw last round. So currently he does not have a bowling average, and he's conceding more than 3 runs and over, despite looking like quite a handsome bowler. Then we have the captain, David Ramsey. David Ramsey has had not the greatest start to the season that he would imagine. He's not done much with the bat. He's had 3 at-bats, and he has scored just 13 runs with an average of 6. And his bowling hasn't been that much better, taking only 1 wicket in 3 games at an average of 80. Then we have Andrew Pollitt, who has scored just 15 runs with a high score, average of 5, highest score 8 not out. Then we've got another change. We've got Mitchell. Mitchell comes in, has only played 1 game of senior cricket for Diamond Creek so far this season, 25 not out, and then 1 for 40 with the ball, and that was in the G3. So he's been promoted up with a good score with the bat and 1 wicket with the ball. Then we've got Max Trainer, who has got 38 runs, an average of 9.5 with a highest score of 34, and then with the ball he has taken 7 wickets at 7. So Max Trainer doing very good things with the ball and being solid with the bat. As we see the Diamond Creek players coming into their fielding positions and the Riverside batsmen. Okay, so then Zach Petrosino has just scored 14 runs at an average of 3 with a highest score of 9 not out. With the ball, he has taken 2 wickets at 29. Then Stephen Farah has played 1 game for the Diamond Creek Twos, which was last game, so he has scored 89 runs at an average of 44 with a highest score of 85, of course. And then Lachlan Dwyer, who has scored just played last game, and that was his only game, batting average of 3, highest score 6. So now it's time to take a break, and when we come back we will have ball 1 of the Riverside innings.
Secret flame, it burned in shame, back and forth through all those years, but finally we both are free. I threw my baggage overboard and let it go. I won't block the door, but tick-tock, if you are gonna take a shot, then come at me with all you got around. Just let me go. Just let me go. Through all the years, we came so near. Something was always in the way. But now we're clear. It's only you and me here. The stars align so totally, they're shining down on you and me. So tell me, what's it gonna be now? Tick-tock, are you in or are you not? I won't block the door. But tick-tock, if you are gonna take a shot, then come to me with all you got, or else just let me go. Just let me go. The skies are cold and gray. The storm is on its way. The flat horizon, leafless trees, there's nothing far, as you can see out here. You shiver like a wave. Your snow boots soles are chafed. You left your heart in paradise. You left it all to roll the dice with me. And I will shake away the cloudy skies with a California lullaby. And when you're frozen with desire, we'll put our toes up to the fire, and I will sing your cares away. Sand between my toes, your hands beneath my clothes. The memories of golden days when we first met and parted ways too soon. Distance lost its flight when you lay down at night. Without a map you chose your heart. Now we are one, but you're still far from home. So let me shake away the cloudy skies with the California desire. We'll put our toes up to the fire, and I will sing your cares away. And when you're frozen with desire, we'll put our toes up to the fire, and I will sing your cares away. I know it feels like spinning wheels, digging you much deeper in the snow. Worry calls, the winter thaws, and you will watch the river start to flow. In that place, the empty space will fill you with a warm embrace, and I will hold you tight until it's home, and I will shake away the cloudy skies with the California frozen with desire. We'll put our toes up to the fire, and I will sing your cares away. So let me take you back to Paris.